How's the hair? How's the hair, Birdie? Alexa, pause. Hey there, Allie and Birdie here today to talk to you about pie crust, right? So in one of my recent videos, I was talking about how we're really getting close to soup season. And then I realized soup season, pie season, they kind of go together, right? So I figured it was time for an update on my pie crust recipe. And guess what else? I actually did my hair today. That hasn't happened in a while, but I woke up feeling pretty good, so I thought, that doesn't happen too often these days. I'm gonna try to shoot 2 videos in one. This one is gonna be about pie crust, and then there's gonna be another one, which I will let that be a surprise to you. But get ready to see me with the same hair and the same outfit in 2 videos right in a row. So pie crust, we all want pie crust that is flavorful, flaky, buttery. Experience has taught me that if you want flaky pie crust, then you use butter, and if you want tender pie crust, then you use shortening. I'm not really a huge fan of shortening. I just don't feel like it's the healthiest thing. Here she goes. So instead of using shortening, I have adapted my pie crust recipe to use oil instead, and it does exactly the same thing. It's a little unconventional, but you still get exactly the same tender, melt in your mouth, short mouthfeel. And I combine that with real butter, and to really maximize the flakiness, we're gonna laminate the dough. What better way is there to create gorgeous flaky layers than lamination? If you're not familiar with the term lamination, all it means is just folding the dough and re-rolling it a handful of times, creating layers of dough and butter. And when that goes into the oven and that cold butter hits the hot oven, it creates steam. That steam puffs up and separates those layers, so it's almost like puff pastry. Puff pastry is another type of laminated dough. So is Danish, and so are croissants. Bart knows, it's all laminated. It's all laminated doughs. Everything that has that gorgeous milfoy kind of texture is probably laminated. That's the easiest way to achieve that. Yeah, and Birdie's very, very chatty on the subject. As you can probably hear, she's got lots to say. So she's gonna chime in as we're going along. Get ready to hear lots of murps and squawks and maybe a beep or 2. So to make this pie crust recipe, the ingredients are really basic and there's not a whole lot of them. All-purpose flour, salt, oil, butter, ice cold water. You can use any kind of oil you like. The flavor of the oil will come through in the final product, so keep that in mind. Today, I'm just using vegetable oil, keeping it simple. Bert's all about keeping it simple, right, lady? But you can also use extra virgin olive oil. Some of the more peppery or fruity olive oil can work really nicely with fruit pies. You can also use some kind of a nut oil. I feel like that would be very fall-like, very seasonal. If you used like a walnut oil or hazelnut oil or something like that, that could be really tasty. But really, any kind of oil that is liquid at room temperature will work just fine. For butter, I recommend using unsalted butter, just so that you know exactly how much salt is going in, how much you should add. If you don't keep unsalted butter on hand, that's okay, but you'll probably want to taste your pie dough to know if it's seasoned well. And it should have like a pretty savory flavor to it. It contrasts really nicely with a sweeter filling. And it just brings out the flavor of the butter too. It just makes it taste richer. So you're gonna start just by placing the flour in a bowl and whisking it together with the salt. And then you can dribble in the oil, and I like to use a whisk to do this. You'll see that you end up with kind of like little balls of oil that are sort of coated in flour. Just try to disperse them evenly throughout. Then cut your butter into thin slices. I would say like around 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick, somewhere in that range. You wanna just have lots of slices of butter and toss them in the dry ingredients so that every slice of butter gets coated with flour and you don't have any pieces of butter that are like stuck together. And the last step is just to add the ice water in a little bit at a time. I usually go like a tablespoon at a time until the mixture can kind of hold together when you squeeze it. Now here's a pro tip. I think it works best if you err on the side of a slightly drier dough and more crumbly, because if you make your dough too wet, then it's more likely to shrink and come away from the sides of the pie pan as it bakes. So try to go a little bit drier, and keep in mind that as it chills in the fridge, it will hydrate and come together quite a bit more. So once you've got that dough made and you can squeeze it in your hand and it kind of holds together, it still looks kind of crumbly in the bowl, then just wrap it up in a big sheet of plastic wrap and stash it in the fridge for an hour. And again, during this time, the flour is really gonna hydrate a lot. So when you come back to it, you'll notice it's not nearly as dry as it was. You're looking kind of sleepy. Are you sleepy? It's been a busy morning. It's been a busy morning with all the hair. It's a big job taking care of all this. Yeah, she needs a nap. I think this is actually good. She's like not misbehaving as much as she maybe would. Yeah, you're being a good girl. You're being a good girl. I love you, little mama. Anyway, so after an hour, your dough should be nice and chilled. You can take it out of the fridge and it's lamination time. I know lamination might sound a little bit intimidating. You don't have to be real fussy about this. A few folds is gonna make the most incredible difference. Your pie is gonna be so, so flaky, even if you don't do it exactly right. So don't worry. You've got this. Dust your work surface really well with flour, dust the dough really well with flour, and dust your rolling pin really well with flour. We don't want anything to stick. Roll the dough out to a thickness that doesn't really matter as long as you can fold it. So I would say, you know, an inch is probably fine, or less. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's your thing. So just get it somewhat flat enough that you can fold it. And then you're gonna fold it into thirds. So it's gonna look like this. Here's your flat dough. You're gonna take one side and you're gonna fold it towards the middle. And then you're gonna take the other side and you're gonna fold that towards the middle. Just like folding a letter. It's like a triple fold. So do that, turn it 90 degrees, and repeat. It's no big shake, Bert wants you to know. It's really simple. Repeat the process. I usually do like 3 or 4 times. Again, even if you don't do it exactly right, it's still gonna be really, really good. So don't stress. Once you've done like 3 or 4 of this triple folding action, you can put it back in the fridge again, give it another nice long chill. This is one of the most important things about working with any kind of pastry, and pie crust is no exception, is it's really important that it stays cold at all times. That's why all the chilling. As it starts to warm up, just from being worked, just from being out at room temperature, from touching it with your hands, it's gonna get really hard to work with. The butter's gonna start sliding in there. It's not good. It's not a pretty picture. So if you do notice that the dough is becoming soft, don't be afraid to just rewrap it and stash it back in that fridge, get it nice and firm again. This recipe makes enough for 2 pie crusts. So if you're making a open face pie or like a Dutch apple pie, you only need half. If you're making a double crust pie, whether it has like a lattice top or like a full top crust, then this is exactly the right amount. And it will fit in a standard sized pie dish. If your pie dish is a little bit bigger, just roll it thinner. It's that simple. As for baking instructions, that's really gonna depend on the type of pie that you're making. So if you have a recipe, follow that. The pie crust itself is very forgiving. It's probably fully baked after only 20 to 30 minutes. Some pies need a lot longer than that. If it's got a lot of fruit in it, or it's like a mile high type pie, you might be looking at over an hour of bake time. So let your filling be your guide. This pie dough can be frozen. One way that I like to do it is just to roll it out so that it's big enough to overhang the sides of the pie plate by like an inch or so. Top it with a piece of parchment paper and roll it up so it ends up looking just like the store-bought pie dough that you find in the refrigerator section of your supermarket. Once it's all rolled up like this, you can slip it into a zip top bag and either refrigerate it or freeze it. It should last for a few days in the fridge or a few weeks, maybe even months. in the freezer. And when you're ready to use it, you just let it warm up a little bit so it doesn't crack as you're unrolling it, and then just carefully, gently unroll it. Maybe give it like a little smooth out with a rolling pin and move on with the recipe. It works really great. I think you're really gonna love it, and it'll come in really handy over the holiday season. So stay tuned for more great pie recipes. I've already got quite a few. I'll link to them in the description, and I'm also gonna link to the full recipe in the description as well. So click on over to bakingamoment.com if you have any more questions. They're probably answered there, but if not, just drop me a comment and I'll do my best to get back to you. Alexa, unpause. Really hope you enjoy. Till next time.